It's not gonna work with that kind of
transaction completed.
Live at CNT.
DLE, what up, baby?
If you knew how hard it is to live without.
Yeah. What up? What's going on? It's us, it's we.
It's DLE, baby.
Yo, I'm Carter One Big Deal.
And I'm Miss C, baby.
Listen, it's been a minute, right? Y'all ain't heard that voice in a while.
It's been more than a minute.
It's been, how long has it been?
It doesn't really matter. Because
it's crazy.
You know, It's like wine.
Oh, I guess.
It's greater with time. And I took a little time off. Okay?
She did. I already wrote her up and everything, so y'all good. Nah, but man, it's good to have you back, E. Good to have you back.
Thank you. Good things.
You know,
thank you.
Man, football season is starting. Right?
You know what? I just saw you got that BS on.
Why would you say BS?
Go get your life, baby. Go get your life. Take the Giants off. And let's be realistic about the situation.
I'm not going to have no Giant slander in here. All right? If I'm not talking about your
But you didn't even
Dolphins,
say nothing because I could have represented.
But you representing, you don't even know it. You are.
What you mean, the water?
No, the blue. For the
way the dolphin jumps up and is successful jumping about the water.
Cut the noise.
You know,
cut the noise.
Well, the Giants
Kim,
she's
back and she's already getting her mic cut off. Cut it off, please. Anyhow, yo, listen. Oh man, we got a dope interview today. All right, we ain't gonna talk about this NFL thing no more. We started and we ended it just like that because
I wish I was Caribbean so I could do that little thing where they smack the teeth, the mouth.
They suck your teeth. Yeah, she gets on my nerves. So.
Wait a minute, I think I got the wrong one. That's not it.
Nah, that's Africa. That's yeah.
Well, y'all know how to show out. Well, y'all know how to show out.
Yo, so check this out, right? For one, it's the show is called the Weekend Bullshit Report, but we barely report the bullshit.
But that's gonna change.
Nah,
See, but you see the thing about it is you call it the BS. I just call it just what's going on. You don't like to talk about people.
I don't like to talk about people.
I was born to talk about people in a good or a bad way. Just depends on how I'm being rubbed.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. For me, with the politics and everything that's going on, especially right now with the whole social media relationship advice people, these random people that just pop up and start giving out advice to people about their relationship.
Yeah. And then you find out that they don't have a relationship or maybe not have been in a relationship long enough to know.
Right. So, yeah. But
I heard you was a coach.
No, the hell I'm not.
Oh, that wasn't you?
Nah, I ain't no
Probably
coach,
your little brother,
man.
Ronnie.
Nah, I ain't got no little brothers named Ronnie. Cut it out. Hey, yo, listen, man. Let me get to what it is today, all right?
Yes.
So, I asked this young man to come out here. I met him about 3 weeks ago. Shout out to Miss Check, please. This young lady she's all over the city.
All over
the damn city.
And I still ain't met her, but I just know she all over.
Yeah, she does her thing. Miss Check, please is out here doing her thing. She got her media expo. She also got her business expo. She call it a master class, which it is. She, basically teach people how to build, businesses and stuff like that. Just everybody getting together and soaking up information from each other. And
that's wonderful.
Her last one was at the Black Wall Street, not Black, is it Black Wall Street mall over in
Black Wall Street Mall?
Yes. You never heard of it?
Never.
Nah, stop playing.
I'm not playing.
So basically,
and everybody know me.
Listen. So basically, the I forgot the city. The city is called
Yeah, I'm dying to know where.
Stonecrest. Like it's always out towards Stone.
Lithonia.
Yeah, and
okay, that's why I don't know because I don't do a lot on the east side.
Well, there's a it's like it's not an outlet. It's like it's supposed to be a black mall.
Okay.
So basically, there's a lot of black businesses in there.
Guess I'll be traveling over there because first of all, them knows I got to see.
No, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Was it near? It's near the Stonecrest Mall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. I found it to be amazing. When I walked in there, I actually came in a little early, and they had a whole fashion show going on. And and when you walk in, it's like every.
They didn't even call me.
That's why this girl get on my nerves. Y'all understand? So anyhow, while I'm there, I'm there for media and just set up. I set up and just kick it with some of the people that I've known already, and I noticed the panel had one individual on there that basically gave a total. Everything was different from what was being done on stage. Okay. And I found it to be something that we needed to know anyhow, especially on the show, because we don't talk about stocks and stuff like that often. Yeah. We rarely talk about what's going on with the crypto situation. Right. And it was kind of wild because I was going to approach this young man and his wife was walking by, and I said, I forgot exactly how it happened, but I was giving her the card and she was getting ready to give me his card, and she was like, "My husband, blah 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 blah," and this and that. We just going back and forth, and then boom, gonna find out this young man is from New Jersey.
What?
Yeah.
Another one of y'all?
Yo, stop.
Oh my God.
See, you saying that, but you're gonna be surprised when I tell you this next thing.
You know what?
You're gonna be surprised when I tell you this next thing now.
Okay. He from Orange Park too?
No, he's not from Orange. Ain't no Orange Park. I mean, it is Orange Park, but he's not from Orange.
Oh, okay.
All right.
He gets so touchy when you talk.
Cause she be trying to play Jersey, like, you know what I'm saying? I understand
I
this.
would never.
I understand this. But yeah, so I believe Patterson. Am I correct?
Yeah, I grew up in Patterson.
All right, Patterson. Now Patterson.
I know what
Jersey.
it is.
All right, that's a bad thing.
That's over by Lakeside.
Nah,
right?
no, it's not.
No lakes.
No lakeside. None. So,
excuse me.
But something that you will find a little close towards you. You know, his birthday is around your same. Yeah. You and him got. Yours on the 29th. His is on the 20th, I believe. Right? 16th. Okay, so I was a little off, but you're a Gemini?
Taurus.
You're Taurus. Which I don't fall into the signs anymore. I used to be heavily into it. I'm past that now, but anybody who's in May is a friend of mine. That is the absolute best month to be born in.
Great people.
What you talking about? Now you failed because you weren't born in 75, but don't worry about that. We're just gonna buy with May.
Anyway, man, we got the young hustler, the cryptocurrency God up in the house by the name of Omar Henry. Man, all right.
Oh, that's a great intro there. Right?
Nah, I could have did better, man, because I had a whole setup in my head before I got here. I had a whole setup before I got here, man.
Well, we'll let him speak for himself.
Because but it was something that you say, and I think it might be your slogan. It's like from the bank to the block.
From Wall Street to the
block. From Wall Street to the block.
Yeah.
I like that. Because I was going to say from Wall Street to the block.
Yeah, I'm glad you just let him say it. Thank you.
It made sense. See? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I got to ask. I want to start a little from the beginning. Now, I know we know you from Patterson. Patterson, for me, close by Passaic. And, these are areas. I'm from East Orange, Newark, Irvington, Jersey City. When I think of Patterson, when I used to think of Patterson, Patterson ain't what you used to think of back then. It's totally different now.
Like way back then.
Way back then.
For you, it's like way back then.
Listen, right? Stop playing with me.
I'm just making sure.
No, it is way back then. Though,
yeah.
Because at one point, Patterson was a chill place. It was a chill place. You can go out there. As a matter of fact, a lot of people from other cities, like the cities I named, Newark and everything, we go out there and just think it was candy out there.
Y'all kind of just escaped the madness.
Yeah, that was the place to go chill, steal a couple of bikes and come back.
Oh,
facts.
But that changed real quick in the early. I want to say like mid. I want to say end of the 90s, and yeah, that's when a lot of the homies that we found out to be out there and started, causing some commotion out
little
there.
ruckus out there.
Yeah. So I want to ask, man, take me back to your Patterson days, because I need to know, how did you get involved? What made you go into the whole crypto, and what brought you out of that? Because I want to say slums, because I ain't gonna lie, Patterson got rough. It got rough, and just as rough as the cities that I was living in. And it's kind of hard now to meet somebody from those areas and see how they, or made that decision that they wasn't gonna get stuck in that mindset. So take us back to those days, bro.
Well, back in the day.
Yes.
No, honestly. So I'm first generation here. My family's from Jamaica.
Okay.
I was born in Wayne General Hospital, and we ended up residing in Paterson, New Jersey. So even though I'm from Paterson, I had a good upbringing.
Right.
Yeah. So my culture, my tradition, and everything, came from outside of Paterson, so to speak. But grew up in a two-parent household. Was very active in church. I actually grew up Seventh-day Adventist. Right?
Okay.
So it was very, very strict there. But so came from good roots. But like you were saying before, man, even though you're from good roots, if your surroundings is surrounding you, you can easily get caught up. And I had a lot of friends and even some family members that got caught up. And seeing that, I said, man, it has to be something different. Now, a lot of people, they look towards if they being a rapper or going ahead to do sports and stuff of that nature, because there aren't many opportunities, to really escape that. Escape that gap, so to speak. And I remember when I turned 18 years old. So because I am from Jamaican roots, man, I love to play dominoes, right?
Well, I already know. Yeah.
Especially when you get that sex love.
Say that, man.
I can only imagine that table. I wouldn't know what was being said, because when Jamaicans, when they're comfortable and they're amongst each other, they don't have to worry about each other not understanding what they're saying. So I just tell people before the conversation starts, hey, can you slow it down a little bit for me? Because I missed about 2 of those sentences. So I get it.
100%. So when I turned 18, I discovered stocks. Now, funny enough, prior to that, I always wanted to be a businessman, because my father was a businessman. So I always wanted to put on a suit, get the phone calls, have the letters come into the house and stuff. And this gentleman from my church, he was a nurse at the time. He was talking about stocks. I'm like, what is that? That was at 18. And I went on this website. It still exists. It's called Udemy, Udemy.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Man, ton of free content you could go there and get.
Yep.
I've never
heard of that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, back when I was 18, I went on Udemy. I'll never forget it. And I started learning about stocks. And at the time, one of my brothers, he actually had ended up being incarcerated. And I'm like, man, it has to be something different. And as I got deeper and deeper into understanding stocks, I realized the real hustlers were making hundreds, if not millions of dollars with the click of a button. They weren't standing on a corner, or they didn't have to look over their backs consistently. And I guess you could call it manifestation. Opportunity came when I turned 20 years old for me to start working for JP Morgan. I started off as a licensed banker. So back then, you couldn't apply and just go be a banker.
No.
You actually had to get your license. You had to have a Series 6. You had to have life and health, right? So I actually went through a 2-month training course in order to become a licensed banker. And from there, when I became a licensed banker, I was still hungry. I used to see this guy coming all the time.
Because you see so much. I can imagine you seeing so much, because you realize, I think, like as a banker, you're beyond the teller. So, teller, they taking transactions, you depositing something, you taking something out. But with the bankers, sometimes you sitting down with people with real money and a lot of really big businesses and things like that. So I could see that making you like, yeah, this is cool, but I want some more.
100%.
I need to get a little deeper.
100%. And prior to working in the bank, where did I really get much financial education? Because they don't really give it to you in school.
Yeah.
You know, and my parents, they migrated to this country. They didn't understand the stock market initially and things of that nature. So yeah, like you said, once I became a banker, man, I started salivating. Like I just.
But see, you were already interested before you even entered the bank.
Correct.
You know, when the interest is already there, you start. It's like anything that you feel passionate about or that you want to do. You just like, I need to know. You want to be a rapper? I got to get better.
Correct.
You want to be an actress? Oh, I can do better than this. Or I want to work with this person or that person, or whatever it is that you want to do. So,
correct.
I respect that. That's a good thing. I'm glad you did, because it's not many of us
at all, and that's why I asked, because I never thought of that. You know what I mean? I never thought about being no banker. You know, when you finally see a homeboy, like when I finally seen somebody that I knew that was working in a bank. There was a young lady that I knew, and she was a teller. You know, you don't get no deeper than a teller. You know, I mean, from Jersey, from all the people I know.
But you know, sometimes you know, a lot of times that's not just because a person's a teller doesn't mean that banking or anything is really their interest. Sometimes it's just a job.
No, I know.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's just a job. I need
yeah.
this job, you know, and I can you know, the basics, so that's fine. But then if you say, well, because sometimes the opportunity might come, someone might see you and say, hey, you ever thought about going further than this? Because I think that you could. I think you have, you know, the potential. But some people are scared. They don't believe in themselves. And you know, you become your worst enemy when you don't believe in yourself. So
100%, because
it's
99% mental.
And you probably didn't think about it because
at all,
it just wasn't something that you wanted to do.
I was on the streets. I wasn't thinking about banker. I'm thinking like, man, I took some of that money and put it in my pocket.
But it's a lot of people that are in the street and they still have dreams. They just don't think. Sometimes the situations that they're in, you understand what I'm saying, doesn't allow them to do this or that at that moment, and then they get stuck.
Yeah, because eventually I did work for Bank of America, and I was working in a transit deposit where all the checks come in, and you got to clear them. You know, you got to basically batch them and put them in the system. So you know, that's
You was at the Bank of America,
and they were still in there.
Let me tell you something. My account was short.
Let me tell you something. This dude took about 42 grand of worth of checks, found the way to cash them, and left and went to Kentucky and got caught out there. Like it was stupid, but anyhow.
And that is why when you hear people say, "Oh, crypto is a scam and there's so much fraud," I'm like, listen, I used to work in a bank. They have a slush fund just to cover the fraud.
They sure do. They sure do. Oh yes.
And it's not in the thousands of dollars, it's in the millions. Right.
Right.
So,
Now, did you start with day trading first?
While I was studying to become a banker, I did start with day trading.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, man, I remember my first foray into day trading. Right? I think I kind of got lucky too. I turned 3 grand into 14 grand in a week and a half.
Isn't that exciting?
At that time, my driver's license was suspended for 6 months, but I was 19 years old, right? Okay. So what did I do? I bought a turbo kit for my BMW M3.
That's what a 19. I mean, that 19 year old.
I can't drive right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and.
You know what I'm saying?
But when I can.
But because I didn't have that backing or know-how, I'm still teaching myself as I go along. That could have been my first house.
Yeah.
Right.
At 19, you know. So, but yeah. So day trading, I started doing that while I was studying to become a banker. Yeah.
Yeah, see.
And see, day trading, I didn't ever get like, you know, you get approached a lot like on Instagram, people popping in, hey, you could do this and you can make this. And I always keep one thing in mind. Most things are really not that easy, the way people are presenting them, you know. Yeah. And I'm like, same way with weight loss. Yesterday, I was 550 pounds. And next week, I was just 165. No, you're lying. You're lying. Because if you really did, you probably would be dead. You understand? So you see all kinds of things, and it kind of took my interest away. But then it came back because I'm like, I always wanted to know about day trading, about stocks, all that. I don't like not knowing. You know how you're looking
the
at
same way.
what is that? CNN and the what you call it, so coming up at the bottom, and you're like,
the
"Now,
flickers.
The ticker symbols.
Yeah.
What are those? What are they talking about? 5%? What up?
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to know what that means. So
that's what got me into day trading, because I started day trading, but I was penny stock, watching that. And I was working at a warehouse, and two of the guys that was in the warehouse, they was like management. Wasn't supposed to be doing any stocks and stuff like that, but they knew what their company was doing. So they was coming out to the lobby and talking amongst each other. I'm just listening to them. Maybe I wasn't supposed to hear something.
Yeah, over ear hustling.
And I was ear hustling like a month. So they decided to put me into what they were saying. And this just happened like 9/11 had happened prior. Oh man, he brought like a bunch of stock of United when it was down, and then ended up getting a lot of money for it. So when I heard about that, I was like, okay, but it took a white dude to tell me that, for me to get that from him and say, I want to try something.
Your network equal your net worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I always tell people too, like how they came out on the floor and they were talking. Sometimes that's game too, because they feel like if I can get just one person to be like, what you talking about? But I always tell people, you can listen, you can ear hustle all you want, and then you go home and you just fact check the best you can, and then that way, if you go back to the break room or on the floor again tomorrow, you'd be like, now what were you saying?
Correct. So that's why, like you say, you like to know.
Yes.
I love understanding.
Yes.
And that taste I got of trading when I was 19, I wanted to do more. So I used to always see a guy come in a suit in the bank. But we always had to be in uniform, and this is when I first started, and that's when I was told he's the financial advisor. He's the person that people go to in order to invest their funds. And I said, that's the guy I want to be. So they put me on, I actually told my manager, but I'm a real ambitious person. I didn't trust my manager at the time because I was her top performing banker. I didn't trust her to elevate the message that I wanted to get a promotion. So I went above her and went to the district manager, a guy named Wayne Elliott at the time, another.
So do they have like in law enforcement, they say chain of command, but do they have like
yeah.
Because I know you
he
said you skipped over her. I understand that, but I know for us, if we skip it, you get in trouble.
I got a little lip
but
for
I get it.
But it was worth it.
But I get it. I hate that you have to, you can't trust, certain people, because of this, that, and the other. But you already knew ahead of time. You knew what you was working with, so
because it goes against your personal interest.
Right.
Oh yeah,
I believe at the time I was referring about $500,000 a month in investment referrals to my financial advisor in the branch at that time. So my financial advisor, ended up becoming the investment manager for the area. And so he knew about my performance and stuff already, and opportunity opened up for me to enter the program. And then that's when I went and trained to get my Series 7, like in The Pursuit of Happiness, where you see Will Smith there. Right. It was it's a 6 or 7 hour test. And so it's really intense.
Well, I mean, you have to, but you have
get
to
a break after the first 3 hours.
That's why there's a difference between you and I, because I would have went to sleep. I would have felt that because I'm.
Well, no, when you went to sleep, because when
I can't do an online test. I can't go to online schooling. No, I need to be in school.
You can't be still.
Nah, I need to be in class. So now you go through the 7 hour test. I'm sure you did what you were supposed to do, right? You come up out of there, and what's your next move?
My next move was a scary move, right? Because I was a successful banker,
right?
But now as a financial advisor, year one you get a salary, but it was insignificant. It's about $20,000 because now you're basically commission. Year two, that goes away. But I just went to work, man. I went to work. I grew my book of business by $30 million from 22 to over 50 million over the course of 3 years. And I was covering Sussex and Morris County, New Jersey. And after my passion kind of changed. Let's just say
right,
that. Let's just say that.
So the dope thing about that is, you know, you did something that we don't see often. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you up here. Because a lot of young black men don't hear that. They don't hear it.
Yeah.
What we hear is the rappers, we hear the drug dealers, we hear the basketball, the athletes. You don't hear the background story that you just said to, you know, okay, so I can move this way. I don't have to. You just said, hey, look, you know, yeah, I was in a rough area, but I had my mother and my father in there with me. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't come from a bad background.
Correct.
So I brought that to where my surroundings were, and I still stuck to the plan, you know.
Yeah.
Young men don't hear that. So when...
That's why I wish it was, not even to cut you off, I just wish it was more programs. You know, I always thought about like, oh, if I, you know, like if I get this lottery or whatever, you know, the things that you want to invest in. Yeah, you have the stocks and you have stuff like that, but I'm already rich at this point. So that's fine. I'll go and play with that. But I'm saying investing in our people, like a lot of those kids in those neighborhoods, a lot of them are really smart.
Yeah,
You know how many guys I knew that were in the street that could run numbers in their head like crazy? And people like, yeah, that's for dope. No. These men really run circles around me because math was never my thing. Now I can count the money, but when I tell you, you just see, and they have dreams. They know that, but it's just some people don't have the push. You know, it depends how you grow up, where you stuck at. All of that is a factor.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I just it bothers me sometimes when I see that, because I'm like, celebrities, you know, they go out, they have a book bag fund, a book bag drive, giving away turkeys. That's all great. But I'm saying, can we have some classes, some free classes? And if they can't be free, very, 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 very real life affordable. Because people are using the word affordable real loosely these days.
Yeah.
Affordable housing.
Yeah. We're going to tap into that
all
later.
Of that, you know.
We're going to tap into that because I know where you're coming from.
Right.
We're going to tap into that. You know what? Let's do this. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Let's take a break, and we're going to come back. All right? You know what it is? It's quite a one big day. We're still in the building with Omar Henry. All right?
This Miss E, baby, don't do that. Don't do that. Stop looking at my phone. The people know. The people know.
Hey, yo, it's us, it's we. It's DLE. We'll be right back.
All right.
When my heart aches, I'm drowning, pain won't go away. And in my cups, brown fills my brain, won't go away. These 5 yellow girls out on parade, asphyxiate. Still stuck in a box, trying to clear my name. Still trapped in a box, trying to clear my name. And in my cups, brown fills my brain. And in my cups, brown fills my brain. Still trapped in a box, trying to clear my name. Won't go away.
It's only real.
I'm afraid your love will blow me away. Am I done? Oh God, I know the pain. Ever just another run away.
Let's go. Handsome gangster, 80, 89 to be exact. We own the block. 16 at 2 checks in one night. Niggas cooking at work. We thirsty to see it come back. Killers and rats, so crack fiends. Where I hung at. Driving through every borough with your woman. I done that. Cuban link dreams, chasing fiends down. D's fell. Nothing frisked me. I had the nerve not even put the weed down. These clowns thirsty to squeeze rounds.
Still trapped in a box, trying to clear
Y'all know
my
the
name.
deal.
Still trapped in a box, trying to clear
It's
my
only
name.
real.
And in my cups, brown fills my
Can't
brain.
stop me.
And in my
Can't
cups,
stop me.
brown fills my brain. Still trapped in a box, trying to clear my name. Won't go away. I'm afraid your love will blow me away.
Here we go. Driving 80 miles per hour in the rain, feeling yesterday's high still, and it's calming my brain, which is ever moving. I still remember shootings that never moved out my thoughts, blowing by the basketball court. Think with the war it happened. All I imagine spending some time under sunshine on vacation. Things I did in my hood situations, oh well. Probably was a bad father to my firstborn, lover to death. But I ain't been home since my first song provided for. But money can't replace a father for him. Plus I got a son blessed with kids, yeah, man, I adore him. And I was sure I was gonna leave this life too fast. I got guardian angels came down to save my ass.
Trapped in a box, trying to clear
Y'all
my
know the
name.
deal.
Still trapped in a box, trying to clear
It's
my
only
name.
real.
And in my cups, brown fills my
Can't
brain.
stop.
And in my
Can't
cups,
stop me.
brown fills my
Can't
brain.
stop me.
Still trapped in a box, trying to clear my name.
Yeah.
Won't go away.
Yeah.
I'm afraid God will blow me away.
New York City, stand up. New York City, stand up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That Nas, that Zaza, that New York, that Zaza, that Nas.
Oh, it's not gonna work with that kind of transaction completed. If you knew how hard it is to live without.
Yeah. Yo, look, check this out, man. We back, man. It's quite a one big deal.
And it's Miss E, baby.
She's tampering with my camera right now because she don't know how to work it. Okay, she got it. Anyway, yo, check this out. We in here with Omar Henry. Hold on, before anything, right? Because Miss E got to dip off, and she got this question. Now, if I don't let her ask this question, I will have to hear it from her for the rest of my life. So.
That's right. And it's not even that big deal. I'm not gonna say it's not a big deal of questions. People do need to know. But Mr. Henry, I just inherited $2 billion. Not in property, just $2 billion. Okay, from my uncle Ray Ray. And so, would you feel, by being in the banking industry, that I would need a financial advisor?
Depends on your financial acumen, right?
Because I feel like I could watch my own money, but that's a lot of money.
So I'll be perfectly honest with you. I do not believe that people 100% need a financial advisor. I do believe a financial advisor can help to remove a lot of the emotions from the equation.
Okay.
What tends to get people in trouble is that they make emotional decisions.
Right.
You know, and that's what can mess you up, especially when it comes to dealing with your own money. Even as a former financial advisor myself, sometimes I may be looking at a chart and I'm apprehensive to make that move. But if it was someone else, I would have told them to do it already. And I miss out on an opportunity with my own money because I'm being overly cautious, so to speak. You know, I would say that one. And then two, that $2 billion, you have to invest it. Why do you have to invest it? So if you're making $100,000 back in mid 90s, you need to be making, if you're living in New Jersey, New York, you need to be making about $230,000 just to be making the equivalent, right? That's why back in the day, you could have just one person working in the household and still send all the kids to school. The one thing that's guaranteed to go down is the value of the dollar.
Oh, yeah.
It's guaranteed to always go down. So if assets are priced against the dollar, there's an inverse relationship. When the dollar goes down, assets go up.
Yes.
So you really don't need a financial advisor if you just go ahead and put your money in some of the big stable companies like the Exxons, like the, you know, and some companies for growth like the Amazons, the Facebook. Now you're not going to get it right now, but it will grow over time and it will keep pace or outpace inflation, so your money grows with it and you're not losing value. So that is why the wealth gap is getting so large in this country, because most people of the lower income stature don't have that discretionary income to own assets that appreciate. And the more they print, the faster the dollar deflates.
And the more we spend money on things we can't even afford. We think we can, but we really can't, you know. Well, I got paid and I had this much left over. So I could, no, you can't. Because now next week comes and then you broke. I know about it all too well. I'm trying my best with my mother. I'm trying my best with my mother now. I'm like, Mom, no, you're 65 years old. And if I really broke it down to her like I would want to, she would cry.
Let me tell you something too about that. I would say almost 100% of people believe for some reason or another that once they retire, their expenses are going to go down. They just think I'm getting old now. I'm not moving about as much. I'm not partying. But in almost every situation, your expenses actually go up.
The economy is pushing it in your face right now. You'd have to be super blind. I think she is blind to not see it, because I can still tell her. I'm like, hey, I know, I got to get it out. I'm going to give you $500 right now. I need you to hold on to this for 2 weeks. Call her back tomorrow. Ma, what you got? I need to borrow $100 of the $500 that I gave you. Yeah, you should have seen my last night. It was flipped upside down and inside out. So how much you got left? I got about $165 left. What did you do? Well, such and such needed to borrow. No, you can't afford it.
And I give you another great point, right? Right now, while most people are paying attention to Barbie and aliens right now, the stock market is on its way to set a new all-time high. Okay. It's happening during the summertime when everybody's on vacation, not paying attention, everything like that. When the market goes up, right? When we have inflation, and when the Fed raises the Fed funds rate, right? Right now it's 5.25%. I do expect them to raise it again in September. It affects poor people the most because they don't have assets that appreciate. Right now the stock market is going up, crypto is going up sideways, right? So commodities, if you look at the price of gas, if you look at the price of cotton, the price of coffee, right? These things, man. Everything is going up except for the dollar, right? And if you look on the charts right now, it looks like it's about to jump off of a cliff. Okay, so especially because growing up in Patterson, you know, I understand, you know, and that's why they call this the Great Wealth Transfer. And after this reset, I would say, man, a lot of people are going to get wiped out.
I know.
A lot of people are getting wiped out.
We gotta have a part 2. We might have to take a trip to Huntsville. Because I'm just full of a lot right now, and
one thing I was saying, she was like, I got a lot of stuff I want to ask and all this other stuff.
I do, but that's what I'm saying. It still is going. There's no way, even in the hour time frame, even if it's an hour and a half time frame. So it has to be a part 2.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So we're gonna go to Huntsville. I need you to rent a car.
What the hell we gotta rent a car?
We gotta rent a car. Gotta go down in Huntsville. Go down in Huntsville style a little bit.
That's a bet. That's a bet.
You out of town, you feel
I feel you on that.
See, that's why we broke. See. All right, everybody. I'll see you all later. I got to go out for a second, but thank you,
pleasure meeting
Mr.
you.
Henry.
Awesome.
Thank you, ladies, for bringing him and accompanying him and being married to him, because this is just. Oh, I'm excited.
We gotta do some more.
Yeah,
for sure.
my people.
So while she pack it up, I do because I do. Now when I first heard of crypto, it must have been 2015. And the very first thing I heard was it was, of course, Bitcoin. I had a cousin. I still got him. It's crazy. So I call my cousin because he owns a business out in Brazil. He used to make some of my beats for me. I'm an artist, so he used to make my beats, and he'll send me his beats from London, and just be on something like, how can we record it? And you can sit there if you want and just swivel around and catch them. So basically, at one point, I'm like, yo, I wasn't hearing from him for a while. I don't know where the hell he went. So I called him and I said, yo, what's going on? Call me. Like, I ain't heard from you. So when he finally called me back, and, we would talk through Skype. He's like, cuz, man, I was telling you I was doing this, but music and stuff like that. He said, man, I'm about to buy a network cafe. I said, a network cafe? I'm like, I'm in Jersey City where there's tons of them already. I'm like, okay, fine, go do your thing, right? He goes, yeah, but I'm gonna do it in Brazil. And I said, oh, I get it now. Somewhere where they need it, But apparently he gets over there and they buy the land, but the soil was this. It was some kind of, I don't know what was in the soil, but it was whatever it was. It was very it was very much needed. He became a millionaire off of the dirt, right? So they got him all up in the Forbes magazine and everything. I'm looking, my uncle is like, yo, you know your cousin, because it's his son. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, right? So now I'm like, okay, now look, this is my cousin. I done bathed with this boy, my grandmother's skirt, because I'm Antiguan. I'm half Antiguan, half, you know, my mom is American and everything. But in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm about to call my cousin, and I'm not gonna ask for a handout. I'm gonna go ahead and invest in his business, you know. So I said, yo, cuz, tell me, how can I invest in your company? That man, you know what that man told me? Yo, cuz, go ahead and just look up Bitcoin, man, and get you some Bitcoin and blah 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 blah. I said, I'm looking at the phone like, what is he talking about? Bitcoin, man. We done slept in the same bed, brother. Like,
why you trying to play me out? I want to know about the soil.
Like, give me. I want some of that soil you got going on. And he just, you know. But at the same time, I'm thinking like I'm thinking with a ignorant ear, because I'm not hearing this Bitcoin thing.
Yeah.
I kid you not. I'd say about a year later, I got people calling me, yo, we doing this, we doing that. You ever heard of Bitcoin this? But I heard of this Bitcoin thing before. So I started looking into it. Then I looked up some text messages. And I see in the text that me and him was talking, he was telling me, you know, where I can go to look for Bitcoin. I said, damn, that was almost a year ago. Mm-hmm. That the year price, so that was 2015, 2014, I think. Mm-hmm. Bitcoin was only like $60, $70 or something. I don't know. I don't remember if it was that low, but it was low.
It was low, yeah.
It was low as hell, because when I got into it, it was just hitting like 1,000 and some change. I ended up getting involved in a company called BitConnect.
Yeah, me too.
You heard it? You did too?
I did too.
Okay, so we got something to talk about.
A lot of people got caught up in it.
A lot of people got caught up in it. I'm sitting here following Trayvon and all of them, man. And you know, old boy Grant. I forgot his name, something Grant. But because that's who I got underneath. Okay. He's out in Jamaica, not Jamaica. He's somewhere now. But I still follow him on Twitter. They looking for him, you know, they trying to arrest him. So basically, majority of the people that got paid off of that BitConnect thing is now, you know. Well, did you know the case just took place and everything? Yeah, so I've been following the whole case. I've been, you know, I did the petitions and everything. I'm trying to get my bread back, right? So I called my cousin, man, and I said, yo, cuz, I want to apologize to you. He said, what are you talking about, man? I said, I didn't listen to you. I was when you told me about Bitcoin, I thought it was the most ignorant thing to tell me.
Correct.
I was looking at the phone when you was talking about it, and you was so knowledgeable about it. He was like, yeah, you know, you need to get into what is it, CCOs? Because it's Bitcoin, and there was some other things, and then I think underneath it was like, oh, but you could be a SCO, or it was something else. I can't think of the names, the terms. But with all that being said, I was being so ignorant because I knew nothing about them. All I knew was day trading, and listen to how I told you how I learned about day trading. You know, even after they told me about the day trading, I was trying to figure out how do I mean, I'm going out and getting it back in Jersey. You know that pink paper? You ever seen the pink newspaper? That pink newspaper, because it was a stock. Right, yeah. It was a stock paper. It was, I forgot the name of the newspaper, but I started buying it. I want to know, you know. I'm like, I want to know what am I looking for? I just see numbers, and I'm like, all right, it's the you know. Then the guys will come out there and they'll say something about, oh yeah, you know, we got to wait for these people to do their reports, stuff like that. So what made you go from day trading to crypto? Because it's two different things. You know, it's the same, similar, but it's really not, because crypto got the same critique, like not critique. They move the same way, but it's way different than day trade. Day trade, you ain't paying attention to that. I literally left my desk up. I think I had an ocean freight liner. They're like 72 cents per share. I think I put like $40 on it, and it was just going up. That thing went up to $5 and some change. Somebody called me. I got up from my desk, walked to the back, came back. That same.
Yeah.
I was hot.
Volatile.
I was so hot because I wish I would have set a limit, but I didn't know none of this stuff until now. You know, talking to different people, but still to this day, there's nobody there's information out there, you know, on the internet and everything, but there's nobody close, nobody there that's gonna be like, yo, you know what? Let me put you on the game. Let me show you this and let me tell you that. What? So how did you get involved in that from the day trading?
I wasn't a day trader. I used to day trade some, but as a financial advisor, mostly what I did was people would come in, I would review their financial life, and then based upon their objectives, I would put together a portfolio that typically comprised of stocks, mutual funds, bonds, and things of that nature. So not too much day trading. I also do want to say that while you can make money day trading, it's not for most people. It's not, all right? And the reason why I say that is not to be discouraging, but I see that it has plagued the Black and brown community the most because everybody's looking for a quick lick or a quick flip. Yes. And that is not how this thing works. It's not how this thing works.
And that's what I went into.
Yeah. It's not how this thing works.
And you said something earlier on how, you know, our mindset would be like, you know, we can invest and not really recognize what we have to invest with, as far as like, you know, what we own, as far as our money. You know, when Miss E was asking you about, you know, I got $2 billion. You know, what you said is true, because in my mind, I was thinking first of all, I totally went off track. Them dudes came out there and they was talking about whatever. I'm listening to them. Once I learned how to multiply my, you know, my cents and to the dollar or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I see what y'all doing. I got one of the stocks y'all got because I couldn't afford the other shit they had. But then I started looking at other stuff like GMC, Visa. They told me to get Visa. I got Visa because Visa was straight. It was just a clear path. You know, it didn't fluctuate too much. Yeah. Okay, so I'm on Visa. I went and got DLE Radio. I got GM again. I got the ocean freight liner. And I forgot the other one. But I brought these things without their information, without listening to anything they were saying. I figured, you know, which we do. Us as Black folk, we do this ish. But we figured out, I figured out how to do this already. I don't need no more. I'm going to go do this myself, right? I'm going to take my own path. I did that. And I was doing something, you know, but I lost all of that. Now, I mean, I ain't do, but, you know, I think the most I probably made was like 15. So those few months that I made that money, I had already given up. I was like, man, I don't want to play with that no more.
Correct.
So...
and I would say, man, most people that day trade, they lose. And just like a gambler, people always tell you about their wins. They hardly ever tell you about their losses.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people paying, first and foremost, if you got $3,000 to go pay for a day trading course, that means you have enough money to be investing. You don't need to like run and play a casino. But what really got me into crypto and blockchain technology, digital assets on a whole, I first got introduced to it back in 2017. A friend of mine told me about a cryptocurrency called XRP. When he told me about XRP, and I started doing my research and learned that it was linked to a company called Ripple.
I remember that.
Ripple, they basically built a financial platform, right, dealing with fintech. Coming from the banking industry, that clicked in my head. That made sense. This had a use case, a utility. So 17, went through the 17, 18 bull run, all that jazz, got out the market. Around 2019, jumped back into Bitcoin. At that time, it was around 3,000 in the beginning of the year. At that time, I also started up I used to own a logistics company as well, too. At the height of it, I was running about 19 trucks across the country. That's a whole nother story that I could tell you.
We're going to get into all this.
That's a whole nother story. But, so
no, go ahead. I'm gonna stay away from it because that's something else.
That's a whole nother one.
Yeah,
that's a very interesting.
I commend you, by the way, just because.
So saw it, got back into crypto in 2019, bought Bitcoin, sold Bitcoin at 6,000.
Okay.
Because I had to reinvest into my company. Bitcoin went up to 16,000, I believe, that year or the year after. After that happened, I said, listen, I'm not gonna miss out ever again. So now I started to buckle down. Now it wasn't just what the hot token. Man, I love understanding things. So I had to learn what made that the hot token. How were these tokens created? Who are these people creating this thing? Does it do something? That's when I started to understand that this is more than just a token, like how you trade ticker symbols on Robinhood. This is actually technology that we're purchasing, that we're invested in. So, and a part of this blockchain technology, one of the products of it is cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrency, though, is a token that basically acts as gas or powers that network to make things happen, because on these blockchains, there aren't human beings making things happen, right? They're nodes, they're computers, they're servers, and you need something to power that ecosystem. So once I started educating myself on blockchain technology, not the cryptos that everyone gets. Litecoin. So Ethereum. Blockchain technology, then I understood that a lot of institutions were utilizing blockchain technology. Then I said, well, if the institution utilizes this technology, then cryptocurrency, which is a part of it, is not going to go away. It's going to stay, but it's going to be the cryptocurrencies that have some kind of real world utility, real world use case.
Okay, got you.
And because I grew up, again, I never lacked for anything, but at the same time, I always knew that there was more, right? And being in the investment world, if you want to live off of passive income, man, you need to have a lot of money to invest to live off of dividends, right? That's the one. The second thing is too, I know that, man, gambling is not the way to go about doing it. How can I make life-changing wealth? Okay. The stock market, if you had invested $1 in the stock market in 1802, by 2012, that dollar would be worth about 700,000 by today. By today, that dollar would be worth well over $1.2 million if you had invested it. If you had kept that dollar, it would be worth less than 5 cents.
Of course.
Okay. So, and we know how markets work, just like products. In the initial phase, right, it starts to get exponential. You have really big growth in the initial. You can make big returns. Then as time goes on and regulation sets in and mainstream adoption, those major returns that you can make start to diminish. Same thing. Back in the day, in the early days, if you're in the stock market, you can make big money. Now in the stock market, on average, if your portfolio, when I was a financial advisor, if you got someone 7 to 10% return on their portfolio, you are doing great for the year. You are doing great. In the crypto market, which is way more volatile, that's every day. That's nothing. Right. That's nothing. So for the first time in our lifetime, right? In our lifetime, man, we have a new asset class. And this asset class was confirmed by the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Mr. Jerome Powell himself. He said it about a month ago. He believed cryptocurrencies as an asset class has staying power. You have Larry Fink from BlackRock now praising Bitcoin and telling people that, you know, they need to have a major portion of their portfolio invested in this asset, and they're trying to start their own ETF. You have major brands like Louis Vuitton, Ducati, Starbucks, Nickelodeon, BMW, just the list goes on, that are incorporating blockchain technology. You have JP Morgan that have their own blockchain called Onyx blockchain and their own token, and they've been testing DeFi out in Singapore. So this thing really is happening here and now, but most people, they're staying away from it because they think it's a scam and it's a
Yeah,
hoax. So they're gonna miss out on this great wealth transfer.
Yeah. That's been the thing since I've heard of it. You know, I talked to other people about Bitcoin. Nah, man, they ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, that's you know, that is exactly what you're saying. It's a scam. It's a what do you call it? It's the other what's the other thing they a Ponzi type of thing. Yeah. And I'm like, even with the BitConnect thing, I thought that was brilliant, bro. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the type of money I was already making, but I had to wait to get it, you know. But the money that I was seeing must build, and I was like, damn, Bitcoin could do this, you know. But then, you know, when what is it, Litecoin or Litecoin and Ethereum, and it was another one that had came out
back then. It was like we had
it was like 4.
Yeah, back then it was like 4 or 7 tokens.
Yeah,
you had Bitcoin, Ethereum, you had XRP, you had Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash.
There you go, Bitcoin
Ethereum
Cash.
Classic, and also
BCC. Yeah. Now, why do you think that some of those other coins did not last? Like, and then there was artists creating their own coins. You know what? That's what I want to talk to you about. Because it's one thing to sit here and say, you know, oh, there was this coin and that coin. That's fine. But for the brothers or the young ladies out there that want to learn how to get into, like, if they want to know, well, how do you create a coin? Not only create a coin, but what is that coin going to stem from? Like, what is it going to, like, what is that about? How do they come up and say, hey, we created a coin? Because I know 50 Cent did it at one point. It was a few artists. Method Man had a coin. Like, where is that coming from? Like, you could just say, hey, I want to have a coin, a Bitcoin, I mean, some kind of coin. And is it a Bitcoin or is it just some random ass coin? Somebody, like, because I never understood that either. Like,
that's a great question, man. And that's the part I'm most passionate about. Yeah, we could invest in this technology, own this token, that token. That's great. Like, I'm far beyond that now.
Yeah.
My focus is on how can we utilize this technology to further ourselves. Right. Fun fact. The creator economy is growing. It's going to be one of the biggest opportunities going forward. Reason being, our economy has basically become majority a service-based economy. Over 70-something% of our GDP comes from the service economy.
Okay.
What's going to happen with services? A lot of services can become automated. So you're not going to need all the laborers and stuff. So a lot of the revenue is going to come from people that are creating content for people to absorb, right? To take in. Blockchain technology, man. The reason why I love this stuff so much is because I can create and do things, and I don't need to have 25 employees anymore because I have smart contracts to handle that.
See,
I don't need to go open up a storefront with my paintings and stuff like that because I could create a gallery in the metaverse that anybody around the world could tap into and walk through it, see my paintings, click on it, get the information, pay for it with digital currency, and now they receive it, and they could even receive a physical one. I could automate my process.
And you could continue to make money off of that too, because
now I have the royalties put into the NFT with the smart contracts.
God, you know, a lot of people still don't understand the NFTs. You know, there's a lot of, man, this
it's a lot, man. Look, it's an entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's why when some people keep on talking about crypto, that is so boring, and that's like the beginning stage. Most people right now, they're just buying tokens and they're leaving it on an exchange. That's the biggest no-no, right? That's the only majority of the time. That's how most people get hurt. Like people that got hurt from FTX going out of business.
Okay,
they weren't invested in FTX, the company. They just left their assets on FTX platform. So when FTX went bankrupt or out of business, their assets were stuck with FTX.
Wow.
In digital assets, we have the opportunity for the first time where we could self-custody our own assets. We don't have to leave them inside of a bank or a financial institution. That's what this whole fight has been about. Because now people can keep $1 billion in their crypto wallet.
Yeah, Yeah.
That's how these financial institutions make money, right? You can't hold your own retirement account. It has to be put with a custodian, and the custodians don't do it for free, right? Inside those mutual funds, they have fees because they have mutual fund managers,
right?
So this whole thing has been about, we have this new asset class coming into America, which is the biggest capitalist country. How do we custody this asset so we can make money off of other people's money? That's straight game. That's all it's been. They jockeying for who's going to get position on it. So I always teach self-custody your assets, right? If it's not your own wallet, you don't actually own it.
Right.
Yeah. 100%.
Damn.
It's big, man. You have crypto, you have DAOs. DAOs are decentralized autonomous organizations. So even like how you have your radio show here, right? You have tons of people that call in, that tune in, that listen to your radio show. Hey, I want to incentivize my audience, or I want to bless my audience. I want to grow my community. Right. So you can create an NFT, for example, for members of your community. Maybe let's say that they may want to incentivize some way. Maybe holders of this NFT can come in once per month or once every 2 months and get 30 minutes or 20 minits of airtime, whatever. You can come up with the stipulations, but now you come up with that NFT and you make it a limited amount, right? So now I'm going to do 500 because there's only going to be 500 people that have exclusive access to this. Right. They purchase the NFT, but now as a member, they can always resell that NFT. Your show starts to grow in numbers that are viewing. The people that want to get in, they're gonna want to pay for this thing. So now everybody's winning together. You understand? And that's how
did you write that down?
That's a little piece, and that's how you're actually owning your audience. You know what I mean? You have DAOs, crypto, you have central bank digital currencies that will come out. They are going to come out.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing for the metaverse, having a studio. I'm trying to get a studio built. I would like to get a studio built the same way, so that, artists can go on there and, buy NFTs to be able to have their music played.
Have you experienced that before?
I didn't, man.
Man, it's dope. Because it's dope. I'll be telling you, you literally could jump in the metaverse on your headset. Yeah. You can go to a recording studio. They have an sound engineer in there. They have different beats that they've pre-uploaded into the soundboard. And you could go inside a recording studio and record and then download a digital copy. I don't have to go, so there's a lot of use cases, but people aren't talking about the real use cases. They're talking about a lady getting raped in the metaverse.
I heard about that.
Take off the headset, But anyway,
and that's the thing is that's the information is out there, but we're not getting to it. And I blame people like myself because, for one, I'm during the week work, right? I'm working for somebody else. Yeah. I get off, I'm working for myself for the station. I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure the station gets to where it needs to be. But then my time is, after that, is eat, sleep, do it again, right? So even though I want this information and I want to be able to get other younger, not younger, but anybody, man, especially people of our own kind, man, to get to know this, because I know everybody is out here right now just you got the Joneses, that the people that want to keep up with it and look like they got it, Then you got some people that's like me. I don't care what people think of what kind of car I got.
Yeah, correct.
Or how I'm pulling up to an event. I'm gonna come out and be myself, and you're gonna like me for who I am. But it got to be a way to broadcast this information for us to be able to get straight to it without a lot of people say, I don't know one thing that Miss Eva said, because we talked about this before. We see a lot of online influencers that say stuff like, oh, you need to get involved with this. All you got to do is tap here and it's for free. It's free information. Come on to my blah, 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 my website. Tap right here and I'm going to show you how to make this amount of money. You tap there, then you go into a whole nother website and like tap here and put your email in, and we gonna then they send you this information through email. It's like 4 steps you gotta take. Then when you finally get to this last step, they tell you all you gotta do is pay this amount of money for this amount of time, and it's but normally this book will cost you this much, but you're gonna get it for this much, you know. So it's like a lot of times people just want to hear the play. Okay, what's my move? Give me the steps from A to Z. I'll make those moves so I could be where some of the other people are, and it becomes a thing where it gets it do get frustrating. I know a lot of people are looking like, gosh damn, how do I just get to where that man is at? So that's why I asked you about your past, and I because yeah, you can give out the information and say, hey, just do 1, 2, 3, sign up for this, press this button, and within a couple of months after listening to these steps, you're gonna have a couple of grand in your account. You can always do that, but if they don't have that drive that you had, if they can't sit there, like I said, I can't sit at no damn computer and just watch it. That's probably why I lost that damn.
I mean, I'll be honest. It's a lot of information.
Yeah.
I haven't had a traditional 9 to 5 in maybe about 9 going on 10 years.
See?
So I position my life in a way that I have the time to actually study and understand this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a passionate dude, man. I've this may sound funny, but a lot of times I feel like I've lived this life before.
Right.
And right now, this journey is about helping others. I'm not frightened for the flashy cars and this and that. Like, honestly, I've kind of been through that phase already in my life, but a lot of people don't recognize it until they're on their deathbed or later on there. So that is why I'm so passionate about this particular industry, because it has a lot of freedom. Time freedom, financial freedom, creative freedom that it can give to people. Yeah. So I do have my company, Decentralized LLC. Okay. And with Decentralized, we are a Web3 and digital asset consultation. I was reading about that. So what we do with is there's some individuals, look, they don't want to learn about this stuff. Right. They don't care. They just want help putting together a portfolio that's in line with their goals. Right. So we do that. You may have individuals like artists or radio show personalities that, hey, they want to start an NFT project. So we'll consult and we help with those, right? Or incorporate blockchain technology in my business to make my payments more efficient, so I don't have to pay 3% processing fee on my million gross of revenue each year, right? So practical use cases. And then I have the Making Bank Club, all right? Just like E was saying earlier, a platform that is realistically affordable. Right. I think I've made it as cheap as possible. You can be a banker for $45 per month. Wow. Or you can be a tycoon for $75 per month. And the price does not reflect the information. Right. You do have access to an online Patreon, but also too, you have access to our online community via Discord. And inside our Discord, there's everything from how to buy crypto, how to send it, crypto wallets. There's even an economics channel. I even have book recommendations. There's a term and definition library. I even teach about crypto IRAs, and there are a lot of people don't even know about that. So everything from A to Z. And in addition to that, every Wednesday we do a fireside chat from 8 Eastern until we're done talking, you know. Okay. Where we're live. Last week we were talking about the state of crypto and tokenization. This Wednesday we're going to be talking about DAOs, because I have some business owners inside the club and they want to learn how they can actually use this tech for themselves. So definitely tap in. So it sounds like you're accessible. 100%. Yeah, that's good, man. Because that's what people are needing. And from what I'm hearing, your business is set up to help people get to where, what I was saying. Like, if somebody they don't want to do the work, but they know, what, this ain't for me. I can't, but I want to be involved. That would be me. I'm that type of person. Like, I want to be involved. I'm 100% an educator. I'm not a salesman. So That's why some people may not click sometime, because I'm not going to tell you you're going to get rich overnight or click here to make thousands. No, I'm going to tell you here, click here so you can learn about this technology that you can be utilizing. And trust me, if you want to learn, I'm going to be there to support you. Yeah.
Good. Yo, this what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. All right. We got the homie Omar Henry up in here. All right. Yo, what's that term you be saying? What's the term?
From Wall Street to the block.
From Wall Street to the block. Yeah, I like that, man. I might be using that sometime. Let me stop. Yo, it's us, it's we, it's DLE. We be right back. Yeah, that's tough.
Hey, yo, Benz, what you cooking? Come on. Young boy, that girl, that little crazy motherfucker. He a fucking menace, and they say that all the bitches love him. And your purse put that power back. Mini Draco cutter. I'm a hustler, thugging millions, motherfucker. She went right on me. Oh, wow. Can I have 10 minutes to put some clothes on? That's a no. Pussy, that's a no. I can't stand through it. I say take down. She don't wanna say she fucking on a player. She a diamond, real that bitch just like a bell. That my holder and my hoe, I'm just too real. Yeah, turn her off and she ain't coming back for real. She gon' make it pop and drop off me. She might buy a hot Glock and drop it off to me. I'm gonna make a pussy drop for real, I ain't playing. I turn on that TV, see your face on the news. They put that tit in that bitch bed. And bitch, I got two. I ain't finna fight you, pussy nigga. I'ma shoot you. I just wanna go in by frisk. That around June, show you what it do. Nigga, you dumb, I don't fuck with you. And that hell you with now. Nigga, I'm popping these bands and popping these tags for real, nigga. Nigga, I don't get these hoes taking off their head like kill, nigga. Nigga, I ain't getting that mo, make them youngest drill, nigga. Nigga, that ain't my body, I'm too real, nigga. Tryna act like me, the fuck is wrong with this pussy boy? Buying all of the switches, you act wrong, you get whooping, boy. Fuck around with these niggas, I get shit breaking, ain't nothing cutting, boy. Jump out the whip, blast the head, I crack it, that's a stolen car. Young boy, that girl, that little crazy motherfucker. He a fucking menace, and they say that all the bitches love him. And your purse put that power back. Mini Draco cutter. I'm a hustler, thugging millions, motherfucker. She went right on me. Oh, wow. Can I have 10 minutes to put some clothes on? That's a no. Pussy, that's a no. I can't stand through it. I say take down.
Oh, it's not gonna work with that kind of transaction completed. If you knew how hard it is to live without.
Yeah, you know what it is. Quite a one big deal. DLE Radio, the weekend bullshit report. I'm still here kicking it with the homie, man, Mr. Omar Henry. Man, the information that's been coming out of your mouth, brother, is good information. And a lot of the, I'm hoping that when they get to hear this information, and I know you've been spreading that word.
Yes,
I think what it's going to take a community to say, hey, listen, this man is saying something to us, and we need to validate, the seriousness of it. Because to be honest, nobody wants to be sitting around here uninformed about something that everyone else is getting easily. The kids, like, they're teaching their kids about this stuff early. I remember I did a school back in Jersey just before I moved out here, and they had in the school they had the ticker going throughout the school about stocks. They was teaching them everything about stock, banking, oil. It wasn't even about like regular school stuff, bro.
That's dope, yeah.
But I ain't seen none of this in there. You see them here and there, but not the way, the public schools are. So you go to a public school, you don't hear nothing about this. So it's gonna be some work that needs to be done, but gosh damn, if I can do anything to magnify what you're saying, I'm gonna do everything I can and get that out there, because that information needs to get out there. So on a more fun base though, I wonder if that's my no. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, I'll cut that out. But on a more fun side of things, people in here are going to Rum Punch right now. Dressed up and everything, ready to hit the road. So now I must say, I don't think that we are. I know this have not this. We're gonna get off of crypto and all that for a minute, right? We're gonna talk about our culture, the West Indian culture, for a little bit, because I don't feel like we get celebrated enough. I don't. I think that we all have our carnivals, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and everybody get their own carnivals, and then you got your parades on in New York and Miami or whatever, even the one that's here in Atlanta. But it's not enough, yo. I don't feel like it's enough. Like even today, so what is it? Independence Day for Jamaicans only? Mm-hmm. It's just Jamaica independence.
A couple days ago, yeah.
Word, damn.
Emancipation, yeah.
Wow, yo, congrats, right? And the thing about it is, I just feel like, man, being from the West Indies, we have a lot of pride. We got a lot of pride, and people don't understand when we come out. We come the fuck out, yo. Like we get busy, we get ready, we want to party. That's why Juve and everything is is celebrated the right way. It's sad that certain cities turn things to where it looked negative, but even the way I had somebody ask me about the young ladies that come out to Carnival and they the way they dress in their outfits. Oh, don't you think that's a little raunch? No, it's not. It's not. This is how we get down, and this is what we do. This is how we enjoy ourselves. This is celebrate. This is our culture. If you ain't been in it, you won't understand it.
Correct. Yeah.
They don't know the calypso. They don't know how the soca music make you feel when you out there. They don't know about when you throwing them flags up. It ain't just it's that means a lot when your flag going up in the air. You know what I'm saying? So, I think I'm gonna go to drum. Nah, but I didn't know that was going on today.
Man, I tell you one thing that's true though. So I was born here, right?
Yeah, in the States.
I was born here in the States, but since I was young, I typically go back.
Mm-hmm.
Typically go back to Jamaica at least once a year because I still have a lot of family there.
Gotcha.
Right? That little, I don't know, it gave me a little bit more oomph when I was conducting myself every day here in the States. Mm-hmm. Just knowing where you're from does a lot for an individual.
Big time.
Knowing where you're from, having somewhere to claim as your own.
Yeah, man.
It does a lot for your pride and for your mental mindset.
Yeah.
And I believe that was one of the great powers that allowed me to overcome a lot of obstacles and not fall victim to some of the influences that were around.
Like we were saying earlier. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I go through the same thing. I could have been somewhere else right now, and I know it. I was in the streets 100%, and sometimes you get placed in different areas and you be upset with it. Like I've been taken out of an area or a situation and placed somewhere else, and I was upset with the situation, right? And then I'm like, after years now, I'm like, damn, you know what? If you didn't do that, if God didn't take me out of that situation,
correct, yeah,
I would have been all fucked up, man. And it's like you don't recognize that, he's walking with you. You might get upset with him and lose faith sometimes. And I tell people a lot, man, don't lose faith, man. It's there. He hear you. He or she hear you.
Believe it or not, man, this crypto journey has been similar to a faith journey.
I can understand that. I can understand
100%,
that.
man.
Bro, you say you haven't worked in what, 9 years? You said?
Yeah. Well, I've worked, but I haven't had a traditional 9 to 5.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
but I watched something on Instagram the other day. I forget the name of the gentleman that said it, but he said being a visionary is a blessing and a curse, because when you have the vision, a lot of times you have to walk alone in it. Oh, oh boy, do I feel like that sometimes, because I can see this new world. I can see everything forming. I can see me waking up and throwing down my headset and going to the Walmart verse and picking up my gallon of milk that's represented as an NFT and paying for it with my digital currency, and then it's dropped off in my home via drone or autonomous vehicle, right? Because that's already in place.
It's already there.
It's already there. You know, I was in Amsterdam about 7 years ago, and we took Teslas as taxis.
Wow.
7 years ago, while here in the States, people still thinking electric cars aren't going to happen, or autonomous cars. You know what I mean? It's a serious lack of understanding and knowledge when it comes to that area. And that's why I'm so passionate.
Well, one thing we got to get rid of is the fear of the unknown. Like this young lady said, a lot of our folks are afraid of the unknown, and we got to figure out a way to help them. You know what? Ain't no way to help sometimes. Sometimes people just in their ways. You know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, man. But I'm definitely going to take your information that was given on this show and magnify it as much as I can. And I just feel like my son and everybody underneath him need to know this information coming up. This should be easy now. You know, it got to get easier, because right now it's hard for some of the people my age. I'm 43, so I said 43. Gosh, damn! I know I'm tripping. I'm 44. I just hit 44. I just hit 44, man. But you know, it get to the point where it's like, you know, you want that type of stuff to become easier as time goes. You know, these kids should be like, oh, that's a no-brainer. Yeah, I'm about to do this. What are you talking about? You know, so. Not.
There's a lot of fear mongering going on. Even like with AI. Oh my gosh, AI. AI. And that, whereas the government is people need to learn how to utilize this thing. Yeah. You know, I was on ChatGPT since last year. I think I started using ChatGPT last year, September or October. People still don't know about ChatGPT. People don't even know that there's ChatGPT 4 and other ones embarked in these. Yeah. Now I can do 3 business plans in like 10 minutes. Yeah, do that. I know. You just, I know. It's wild. I know. But I know. Man, so,
I ain't gonna lie to you. Just last week, I did one with ChatGPT. Yeah, did.
Of course.
You know, because for me, I was like, you know, let me try this, because I was hearing the same thing. Oh, you know, they just taking your videos and pictures and your information and public. Bro, they doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? They doing it anyway.
Correct.
I don't know if y'all seen it, but somebody on TikTok was showing, and I hate TikTok. Trust me, I hate it. But I just so happened to see a video where the wife and the husband had their iPhones, and you can go outside and it's flashing, taking pictures every 5 minutes, I think. Like the outside of the camera, even when your phone is off, it's just flashing. You can't see the flash. Yeah, it was like on an infrared camera, and they just happened to see the flash go off. Of course, and what they saying is, you know, it was taking pictures, but we don't know. Whatever they doing, they gonna do it. If they want you, they gonna come get you. You know, so I definitely took that route, though. I said, you know what, let me try this out. Let me really see what's going on.
And funny enough, AI has given even more of a reason why blockchain technology is forever going to be here. The first and major use case of blockchain technology is that it's a living ledger. It keeps record of everything.
Wow.
So now we can use this blockchain technology to validate whether a picture was created by AI or not, to validate whether this report was written using ChatGPT, 100%, because it acts to validate, and it's a living ledger. So, man, even that part, that gives it even more of a use case. But you're going to have AI over here on the left Blockchain technology is that pipeline in the middle. That's what makes everything happen. AI talking through blockchain, validated. And then you're going to have robots on the other side doing a lot of physical labor. So you're going to need people that understand how to work with this new market. Just like when tractors came in, right? People are like, oh, everybody's going to go out of farming now because now they have tractors to do all the work. You're going to lose. No, you adapt. But if we aren't adapting with the knowledge, we're going to be left out once again.
See, and I was just getting ready to ask you, what do you think about the next 4 to 5 years? But you just answered all that. Well, listen, I know we got to go get some of that
rum punch.
Yes, man. And you guys ever been there?
Yeah.
Club, you've been to Believe before.
100%. I need to go get some. You know, I moved to Huntsville for strategic economic reasons, but man, I need to go get that dose of some rhythm and
we go to that spot a lot. I even went out the whole rum punch thing going on the Sundays, but Believe is a pretty dope club, and you know the stage and the it looked like a damn mini Apollo in there. Yeah. But I've caught rum punch once, and that was crazy. So
I can't, not gonna lie, the first time I went, I was like, man, this is the best party I've ever been to in America. Yeah. That's like almost better than a party in Jamaica. Yeah, like legit, like you know. Yeah, I guess good.
And it's a spot. I ain't trying to smash rum punch, but there's a spot not far from there, a Jamaican. I don't know if it's I think it's a club. I think because they got like a restaurant feel in there, but it's pretty dope too. But listen, I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. Before I let you go though, I want you to give my audience all your information that they can have, please.
All right, cool. You guys can find me on Instagram as makingbank.crypto. I do have the blue check mark. Just look for my name, Omar Henry. That's makingbank.crypto. You can find me on Discord underneath the same name, Telegram, Twitter, anywhere you're looking for me. My company, Decentralized, the website is decentralizedllc.pro. That's decentralizedllc.pro. And there's a laundry list of services up there that you can check out. And if you're looking for an online community that you can be a part of to learn and grow, definitely check out the Making Bank Club.
That way. Now, get what she just said. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Making Bank. MAKNBANK. Again, Making Bank is MAKNBANK.crypto.
And if anything, you can always find them on our friend list on Instagram. But once this video is situated, we're gonna put all the information there. Last question before I get you up out of here. What would you say? You know, I don't even think that's a good question to ask. I don't, because I don't think there's a such thing as a turnaround. I was going to ask you, what would a turnaround be? If somebody was to ask you, what's the turnaround on owning? Well, you know what? That's why I want to ask you.
So, okay, I have the perfect way to address that. No one has a crystal ball, right? We don't have the timing of anything. But we can look at indicators, right, to get a idea or a glimpse of what the future might be.
Okay.
Currently, right now, you have, well, for example, like I said earlier, the federal chairman of the chairman of the Federal Reserve coming out and basically validating crypto as an asset class. We have BlackRock, which is the largest money manager in the world, the largest. They manage money for government sovereign money, coming out and validating Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, even trying to start their own ETFs.
Okay.
If you look at the dollar, where the dollar is right now, the dollar on a monthly time frame, it looks like it's going to retest. It's going to retest some resistance this month, and it may turn back south for next month. So on that side, things are lining up. We see the stock market is about to set new highs, right? So is it seem. So, and the Fed is going to do, I think they're going to raise again in September.
Okay.
A lot of people think that when the Fed starts to cut rates, things are getting better. Oh man, they cutting interest rates about to go down on mortgages and loan. They cut when they smell something bad on the horizon. So historically, while they pause or raise the Fed rates, that's when assets do good. Once they start to cut, that's when the proverbial shit is about to hit the fan.
Wow.
Right? And we are going to go through a recession, Great Depression. Well, we'll see how bad it gets, but and things are going to get worse because the Fed is targeting 5 to 6% unemployment. We're only at 3.7%. It's not a guessing game. This is how things work.
Right.
It's facts, right? If you study economics and history, that's how it's going to work.
Right.
So, taking all of this into account, it looks like we are anywhere from T-1 month to 6 months out from possibly seeing another run in the crypto industry, mainly in the altcoin market. In the altcoin market. So, and altcoins is, they term that as every other coin except for Bitcoin.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. Well, y'all get your ass ready. Y'all get your asses ready, man. Listen, man, I appreciate you coming in. Huntsville?
Yeah.
That's all right. I didn't know you was coming from all the way out there, bro. But I appreciate you coming from out there, man. That's a big deal to me. We tapped in, so.
Listen, man. Like I said, I don't know. It's different. I might be different,
I get it.
Just being here, having this conversation, and knowing that people are going to get this information was a blessing and fills my heart with joy.
Yeah, man.
And this was a real good session, and I'm pretty sure we're making impact.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. It is. As you see, I don't find myself needing to write down any questions or anything. I'm an artist, so I like to think I'm drawing a picture for these people. Nice. And whatever questions they may ask or might have, anything that I didn't ask, they're gonna ask anyway, and you'll be able to get those questions. So my people come through. So yeah, but man, I appreciate you again. Yo, y'all know who to tap into. He gave you the information. Omar Henry. All right. If you cannot find anything that I don't know how you won't be able to find his information after he repeated it and spelled it out for you. You can always come to our page, all right? And we're gonna put it down for you. You know where to find us. DLE Radio, everything, DLERadio.com. I'm quite a one big deal. And we over here at 7 Spring Studio. That way. Yeah, the Weekend Bullshit Report. We out of here.